Well, hello, welcome back to compiler programming. And tonight I was going to do a little bit of just chill programming, nothing too advanced, but one of the things that our Ruby implementation does not have is method visibility. And if you have class foo, and let's set the file type here, and I say def foo here, then in Ruby I should be able to mark this as a private, if I could type, a private method, and then what that means is I can't call it like this. So we need to implement something like that. And what better way to do it than to write it into a test. So method test. I wonder if I should make a new one. Yeah, let's just save as here and do method visibility test.rb, and just paste what we wrote here. And let's just get rid of all of this stuff. I don't know why I even started with it, but I did. Okay, so method visibility, and I'm just gonna delete all that stuff. And so we have foo, we have a private foo, and I kind of want a public one as well. So we could say we'll call this private foo and public foo, and like so. Let's just make it return public and private, and there is actually protected as well. Protected, and I'm not even going to get into that tonight. Let's just do private and public. So that would be maybe not too hard, hopefully. Okay, so we have public by default, and then just to test that you can switch it back to public, let's do public foo 2. Public. Okay, so describe public by default. I'm going to say it is visible outside the class. And we'll do foo.new.public foo should equal public. And we'll just see if that works with Ruby. Test Natalie method visibility test. Undefined method foo for, what did I do wrong? Class foo new public foo should equals blah 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 blah. Oh, right, it's foo new public foo. Oh, this one. This is the one. Okay, so that passes, and we want to make and bin Natalie test. I'll just do this, and apparently I haven't built lately, so we'll let that run. And we can go ahead and make another one for public. We'll say explicit public, and same thing for that. This is going to be private foo 2, or yeah, sorry, public foo 2. And both of those should now pass. And everything is public by default in Natalie, so those just pass. The one that's going to break is going to be the private one. So we'll copy this, and we'll say private is not visible outside the class. And we'll say private foo. So what I want to do is I want this to raise an error, but I don't actually know what error this should raise. Let's say we'll just make it raise the wrong error first, and we'll run it through Ruby, and we'll see what it says. Class or module required for rescue clause. Oh, I thought you could do that. Okay. We'll just say it's a syntax error because I know it's not a syntax error. I just want the actual thing. No method error, and then and it goes all the way to there. It's fascinating that these brackets don't match. Am I reading it right? So this foo ends here. Yeah, it's a little weird. Not sure what to think about that. I don't know if that's an error. Well, let's just do it in IRB. We'll say class foo private def foo and end. We'll say foo.new.foo, and it's supposed to return this. I don't know, it might just be something with my test runner. It's not printing everything correctly. No biggie. So we're gonna put this here and no, that is not quoted. Do not quote. And something like this, except needs to be double quoted. And this ID is going to change. So I guess we want to use a regular expression. 0x, and I think I can do \x plus, and that might work. Let's just try it. No, private foo call. Did you mean private methods? No. Private foo. Well. Should have raised no method error. Oh. But the message was private method. Oh, private foo. Yeah. Gotta match the format. There we go. Okay, so we're doing good so far. Let's just get that all in our index in case I mess something up. And so now we want to make this test pass in Natalie. And it'd be really cool if I could run this when I change stuff. And so I'll use my little tool ENTR. I don't have it installed. Well. Well, we got to fix that. Okay, now, whenever we change a file, this will update in place, and that's great. So it should have raised no method error, but instead raised nothing. So, I believe in, actually I'm not sure where that is, binding gen, we have private is on module, and it calls private method, on public calls public method. Like I said, we're not going to do protected tonight, but I'll work on private and public. So on module value, HPP, I have private method. Yeah, so let's jump over here to private method on this, and here's my to-do note. So I need some way to store the current visibility. So let's just say enum class visibility. We'll call this method visibility. And I'm going to say public, private, protected. And I'll just put them in order, alphabetically. Private, protected, and public. And the default, we'll say visibility, current visibility, current method. Oh, don't even need current. I think that's clear, hopefully. Method visibility, public is the default. And if you call this, then we're going to say method visibility is method visibility private. And then down here, we're going to say, I might as well do this one while I'm here, protected, even though I'm not testing it. And then this one will be public. Okay, so nothing changed because we're not actually applying that to the method, but we're making some progress. So next step would be to, what would be the next step? So define method is what we call when we're defining a method, naturally. And I suppose, well, now I'm in a dilemma. Do you store the visibility on the method object itself? Well, we can probably test this. So let's pull up IRB, and we'll say, actually, let's do it in a separate file. So we'll say class foo private def foo foo. Okay. And then we say class bar, and it doesn't have a foo. And then we say foo.method foo. Does that work like I think it does? Let's just open a terminal here and run ruby wat undefined method foo for class. So I guess I have to do .new. Is that how that works? Yeah, so that's the method, and I sort of got a reference to it, and I think you can call m.methods.sort minus object.new.methods. This is kind of a janky way of doing it, but can't you set, like, bind it to something else or something like that? Unbind. You can unbind it. Well, that's fine. Maybe that's okay. You know, I wonder. Well, okay, my first clue here is that there's no way to check the visibility of this method. Well. So if I do call like this, what do I get? It actually does call it. So that's like a tricky way to call a private method. I mean, obviously you can call foo.new send foo, and that's another way to get around it, but I'd never thought of this as a way to get around private methods. Ruby has all kinds of fun ways to let you shoot yourself in the foot. Yeah, so I'm a little bit puzzled whether the visibility is stored on the method or it's stored along with the class somehow. You know, I'm just going to punt on it until I find otherwise. I'm going to store it on the method itself. So let's go to method here, and we'll say let's exit this. Oh, did I? Oh, goodness gracious. Let's get out of here. Get out of here. I meant to be over here. That's what I meant to do. Method. So I've got method over here, and I've got module value over here. So let's move this up a level. Let's move this just into Natalie HPP for now. Don't really know where else to put it. Just gonna stick it right here. And so this is still happy, right? What are you complaining about? Yeah, I don't know, something's funky. That code is fine. I don't know why you're complaining. Method visibility. I guess I need to move this out to include method, let's see, Natalie, method visibility. And we'll just do it this way. Okay, now, are you happy? You're still not happy about some of this stuff, which is just weird. Okay, method visibility. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was what was breaking stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Well, as you all know, I'm kind of new to C++, so I'm kind of learning as I go. So that might explain why I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Okay, so we're going to say method visibility here. And I'm also going to store it on the method itself. So that makes me wonder if I should say this is current. No, I'm just going to leave it. Just going to leave it. Method visibility, yada, yada, yada. Put this over here, and then this down here. This was not used, right? I guess it's public by default. Yeah, it can be public by default. And whenever you create it, method visibility. Oh, I don't need to call this method visibility. It's kind of redundant. So let's just call it visibility. And right down here, we're going to just put a new thingy here. Visibility, like so. And then something like this, I think. I gotta add a new method. Visibility. What did I mess up? Oh, there we go. Fix that. Okay, so now we have a way to store it on the method, which may be wrong, but that's the way we're going to do it. Ugh, gotta fix that. Okay. So, over on module value CPP, whenever we define a method, we need to set the visibility. M method visibility, and this one as well. And let's just see what breaks when we build. Okay, so the test is still failing, but we're getting closer. We're getting the information we need to the right place. And now we need to find a way to check this before we do a send. And let's just look at some sample code here. So if trying to think of a good example. Let's pull up our WAT here. And public foo, it calls the private one, okay? And we do foo.new.public foo. So that should give us all the information we need. Now if I do Ben, Natalie, WAT, and I do a -D for debug, show me the C++. And this is the send method on public foo. And then there should be another send on just the regular old foo somewhere, right here. So I think I need a way this might be a little tricky. So I need a way to know that this one is a private send and all the other ones are public send. So let's go look at our compiler and let's go look at pass 1, which I believe generates this stuff, and process call, I believe. It has been a while. But I believe this big fat method is the one that produces the send right here. And I suppose if the receiver is self, then it can be send. Oh, let's do that. So else if receiver is self, then make it a send. Otherwise, we're going to make it a public send. And then I'll have to figure out later how to do the protected stuff. But that's okay, one step at a time. So this is going to be a public send. And let's just see if there's any other places that we do the send. Block given is like a special one. There's that. There's this. I think this needs to be a public send as well. Pretty sure all of them need to be public send. That just needs to be the default. Yep, we're just going to change all of these. Why are you messing up my indentation? Why you be doing that? Oh my goodness, thanks a lot. Stop. Public. I'm not really reading all these. I'm pretty sure that we want everything to be public send except the ones that were self. Huh. So, I don't know, this might bite me. Okay, so we're back, we've looped around, now we're back to here, and yeah. Well, that's a good start. Now this is all going to fail because we don't even have a public send. So in pass 4, we have this list of methods, things that aren't bare functions, and I've never really been happy with it, but I'm not in the mood to fix it right now, so I'm just gonna put this here, public send. So now that's a method, not a bare function, so now it should look like this with a little arrow. Perfect, and we don't have a public send, so we'll go over to value HPP and we'll look at our send. Oops. Our send. Oh, yeah, look at that. Let's go back to pass 4. So I don't know if you remember, but in one of the recent videos, we did some stuff with smart pointers, and I did not think about this being a problem. So I guess I just have to make a new one for public send. Blech, I don't love that. You know what, I can cheat though. I can say process send because we allow the function to be anything here. So that's great. So I wonder if our value pointer, if we're going to need a public send version of this. I believe we are. And then value pointer CPP, we're going to need this to be copied. Public send. And this calls public send. Okay, it's a little bit boilerplatey. Is that a word? Boilerplatey? You know, I just realized I think these can go away. But I'll do that later. So let's go to value HPP and let's copy this one and we'll say public send. I mean, it's largely the same, I guess. Value. Let's just jump over to there. Send. What do you mean it's not there? Oh, right. Underscore send. So I want to copy this and paste, and we're going to call this public send. And this, I guess, is where the magic comes in. We only want to call this method how are we going to do this singleton? Well, let's skip that for now, because I don't even have a test to prove that it would be working. So, So now do I have to pass another argument into call method? So let's go look at call method. Module value cpp call method. Call method. So that's here. Do I add another argument? Yes. I don't know. What do we call it? Method visibility. Visibility. Visibility at least. At least. Yeah, let's do that. It's a little more clear, I hope. And we'll say call method here. Method visibility. Should I make it have a default? Sure, why not? Method visibility. Actually, I don't want it to have a default. I want the compiler to yell at me if I miss one. So let's do that there, and let's copy this down here. And let's copy this here, visibility at least. Okay, so where's all the places? Got a module value HPP 75. Okay, array value CPP. 175. So we need to go fix all of these. Let's fix this one first. So we're going to say method visibility public has to be at least public, and this one has to be at least private. And then array value CPP, where are you complaining? What line was that? 175. Come on. We're going to say any method visibility. I wonder if I should make that public by default. Yep, I'm going to do it. I changed my mind, you know, and that's my prerogative. Method visibility public. So it has to be public by default. Okay, so that should make you happy, and this over here should be happy. Over on public send. Yeah, I'm just going to pass this explicitly in, just to be clear. And comparable CPP 116. So somewhere I'm generating the arrow. Oh, I think I know where it is. Pass 4. So say send public send include function, then use the dot. Okay, well, everything's compiling. That's good. This is still failing because we still haven't actually tested that that the visibility matches, and I think we're about to finish this out here. So let's say if the method and it's not undefined, I'm going to say if method, I need an accessor, method HPP, say method visibility, return visibility, like so. visibility. I don't think you can do this, can you? I don't think you can say compare them with like a greater than like this. But that's what I want. And then we're going to raise some sort of error here. Blah, blah. You know what? It didn't complain about that. So I guess I can... I didn't know that if you could compare these as if they're numeric, but I guess you can, because that seems to work. So did this pass? No. Oh yeah, it did, but we just got the wrong message. So we just need to fix this. And I think we're cooking. So this method, or this error message needs to look something like this. Private method. And then this is the name of the method. Method name cstir. And this is the, I guess, like inspected version. So it's kind of like this, self inspect stir env. Let's see if that gets our test passing. Boom! That is so cool. So let's add everything to the index, and let's do make clean test just to make sure. I mean, I fully expect I broke something else. And let's go look at visibility test again and just admire our work. So I think we proved that switching, like you can switch from private back to public because we didn't break these other tests. We showed that public is the default. And we showed that you can't call a private method from outside. Okay, so can you call it from inside though? Let that run. We'll say def public foo calling private foo. And private foo, like so. Say explicit private, it is visible inside the class. Say foo.new.public foo calling private foo should equal private. Just save that. Oh no. Did break something, didn't I? Compiler test. Initialize constant parser. Oh, you know, that's unrelated. I think I fixed that already, and I just haven't pulled down that change. Whoops. Okay, so totally unrelated. Now this, however, this looks bad. No implicit conversion of symbol into integer. Okay, think I know what's causing that one as well. Over in pass 2, we have this. I'm going to say so let's do this. Send or public send include this. I think there's going to be other ones like this as well. Process send. Okay, let's doesn't tell us which test that is, does it? Okay, so I think that will fix that one. And then pass 3 is the one that errored as well, but let's just see. Does it have a send? No. So I think pass 2 was supposed to catch it and do this with it. So hopefully that fixes. I'm just going to start these over again. Actually, let's do this. So let's stash, do a get pull, and then stash pop, make clean test, and run our whole test suite. Okay, so it looks like we just have one failing test and just one place I missed in pass 4, 459. Should be easy to fix. Pass 4, 459. And right about here we do a send. I guess I just add public send here and rerun the test. So the test run was defined test, make test Natalie, defined test. Boom. Okay, well, I'd say we did it. We didn't do protected, but we did private and public. So protected, I'll have to do a little bit of thinking about that. I'm not sure what that's going to take exactly. Well, let's just look at it really quick. So in module value, HCPP, we do find method, and our find method, like the big one, where's the big one? Here's the big one. So it looks through all the included modules, and then it also it goes to the superclass, so it recursively calls itself with a superclass. And I think that's how we would do protected. I think maybe, oh yeah, we return matching class or module here. So where do we call find method here? We're not using that, but find method can return a matching class or module. So if we store that here and check that it's the same as instance class, then we allow protected. Otherwise, if it's different, let's see, let me say that the other way. If it's private and the instance class is different than the modular class that it was found on, then deny it. So yeah, I think that should be doable. I am done for tonight. Kids are about done with swimming, so I do appreciate you hanging out with me. And let's just go ahead and commit this. So let's do add public and private method visibility. We'll do protected another time. So not bad. Yeah, so I think most of the code we wrote was just the test. We added a public send. I'm still not convinced I did it right where I'm storing the visibility, like on the method itself. But who's to say that's wrong? You know, that might be how Ruby does it internally. I've kind of made a point not to go looking through the Ruby source. I don't know why. I think it's more just like I definitely don't want to copy any of the code because I want this to be my own code, but I also want to just poke at it. I like poking at it in IRB and just figuring out how it works, and I think that adds to the fun. And maybe I'll go looking in the source sometime and figure out exactly how they do it, but for now this seems to work, and we'll just store it on the method itself. Yeah, that's it. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out, and as always, thanks for your encouragement. I appreciate every one of you, and hope to see you in another video.